Beep, beep, boop, beep. I am Robo-Man, and I have questions for you. Do you like robots? Do you like tactics? My sensors indicate you do. You need Robo-Tactics. Thank you. I'm Jonathan Kraber. Back behind me we have Brian O'Grady, Ryan Madsen, Roger Wu, and Skylar Suzuki. And we are Team Grown Phase from Button Masher Studios. So, I'm sure you're all wondering, what is this amazing game Robo-Tactics I've been hearing about? Well, I'll tell you. It's a turn-based strategy game where you and a friend create teams of robots and battle each other in epic arenas. Or, if you keep losing to your friends, like Brian back here, you can play against the computer and practice your skills. Either way, your wits will be tested, and if you prove your robo-mind strong enough, you may just become the Robo-Champion. Now here's Brian to tell you all the details you need to know in order to achieve such a magnificent goal.
Thanks, John. In order to become the Robo-Champion, you'll have to utilize our main feature, which is our action point system. Our action point system allows you to command your units, kind of like chess. I bet you're wondering what that means. It means that you'll be able to attack, or unlike chess where you just move one piece per turn, you're able to move, attack, and use special abilities with each of your robots all in one turn. Now, there will be 3 different types of units using this action point system. Our first unit is the Assault. The Assault is our mobile unit. He has the highest amount of action points, and he'll be able to move, attack, and possibly retreat all in the same turn. This makes him our average Joe, and he's able to get the job done when you need it. Our next unit is our Heavy. Our Heavy is our Juggernaut. He has the highest amount of health, and he will, if you get in... he has a short range, so when he's close to an enemy, he'll be able to hit you, so you want to stay away from him. He's the playground bully, so you want to stay away from him on the battlefield. Lastly is our Deadeye. He is our ranged unit. He has the longest range. But he also suffers from a low health, low action points, and maybe possibly a low self-esteem like me, thanks to John making fun of me. On this environment, on the battlefield, there's also strategic objects. Our first environment is a pillar. Our pillar is impassable, and you are unable to target a unit that is behind a pillar. Our next is the hole. The hole is impassable, but you can attack over it like the pillar. So basically it's just a hole in the ground. Our last environment is the wall. The wall is impassable like the pillar and the hole, but you're able to shoot over it and target an enemy, unlike the pillar. Once you target an enemy past the wall, it will absorb the first damage and then be destroyed. So basically it is just a destructible cover. Lastly on the battlefield is our robot candy, or power-ups. There are 3 different types of power-ups: an action point, a damage, or a shield power-up. And lastly, there's a random power-up, which just acts as a mystery box. Now I'm going to pass it off to Robo-Dev Ryan to talk about technology in our game.
Thank you, Robo-Dev Brian. And so, what kind of technology did we use in our game, Robo-Tactics? Well, we decided to use a program called Maya to create our visual effects. And an effect we have here is the fire that's using this picture on the right side, on the left side, to figure out what color it should use. And the way it does that is depending on how long the flame has lasted. So as time passes on, the flame dies off, but so does its position on the picture of the ramp. And so it changes color from white to yellow, red, and finally to black when it dies. And so these ramps can be used for other things besides color, like the size or the scale of the fire. And so here it starts out at well, actually, the ramp picture isn't just a color anymore, it's actually just black to white. And the black is acting as a 0 for the scale, and the white is acting as a 1 for a fully sized flame. And so as it starts out, it's going to be a gray side of the ramp. So it's going to be mid-sized. And then it's going to go to white to be a fully sized flame, and then finally fade off to black until you can't see it anymore. And so how does it look like in game? Well, here it is. Here it is with some spiced up with some smoke effects on a Deadeye that's about to die. And as you can see, it creates a pretty similar effect to how it was in Maya. And that's one of the biggest reasons why we use Maya, because it was an easy way, it was fast and easy way to build our effects, and all we had to do was just save out the flame and put it into our game. And so another thing that went robo-right about our game is that we have some really great feedback from our staff, JC, wherever you may be. Thanks, JC. And that really, some of the feedback really helped us speed up our game, especially compared to when we first started. And another good thing was that we had a pretty good core build a few months ago, and that helped us have time to put in one of our biggest features, multiplayer. And lastly, we had some special team meetings that really helped us out to fix some of the robo wrongs in our game, like the fact that we had a lot of bugs over the past few months, especially last month. But one of our team meetings helped us decide on prioritizing our bugs and constantly testing our game so we can minimize those bugs in the future and fix them. And the next thing that we used team meetings for was arguing. We had a lot of arguing over the past few months, and we had a team meeting that would have everybody vent out their feelings and decide on some rules to prevent some big arguments from occurring. And that really helped us out. We haven't really argued that much in the past month, gladly. And so finally, our animation system. Our animation system had a lot of little kinks and issues in it, but in the end, we found a simple solution that really fixed most of them, and it resulted in our final game, Robo-Tactics. And now, who's ready to robo-battle?
All right, good afternoon, Robo fans. Who's ready for an epic Robo battle? All right, I'm Skyler Skyhawk Suzuki, and joining me today is Roger Freedom Wu. And on the big screen, we got Jonathan Robo John Kraber, and battling him today is going to be Brian No Gravy No Grady. So what can we expect from today's matchup?
Well, first of all, let's wait for them to connect first before we further on this introduction. So, how are you guys doing today? You guys excited? Yeah! Come on, you guys can be loud. Thank you. Today, they will be playing on this giant map of a 6 versus 6 battle. And we'll get the game started when both players are ready.
Yeah, so I think John is asking Brian if he's ready, and got a little smack talk going on as well from John, so there we go. I think they're both ready, and here we go into the game.
For one of the balancing that we did for the game is whoever goes second will get an action point boost for one turn. So all units that the player chooses will have an action, 2 action points extra for each of the unit for one turn.
So here we go. John's selecting his team composition right now, and right now I think he's going for a 2-2-2 comp where he'll have 2 Deadeyes, 2 Heavies, and 2 Assault.
Let's see what Brian pulls up for us. Looks like he's going for the same composition.
And Brian will be going first, so Brian's going to try to move out, try to strategically place his units in an area where he can deal with John's powered up units for this first turn.
Looks like Brian just picked up one of the action point power-up on the field. That will maybe give him another advantage against John's unit that's moving up next turn.
Yeah, so that power-up was actually going to last 2 turns instead of John's 1-turn power-up, so hopefully he won't waste the unit and actually use it to its full potential.
Let's see what John's going to do with his action power-up.
Yeah, so those Deadeyes that he's moving out that have that extra movement, he's able to move them and then attack if he so decided to, but I feel like he just moved them out so that he can get into range if Brian decides to advance on him.
And John, I think what John's thinking there is putting an assault behind the pillar, so when it's Brian's turn, he couldn't use his Deadeye up there to attack them and kill the unit.
So yeah, that's a very smart play by John, and hopefully he can get that in close. And
oh, looks like John is thinking about advancing his heavy to pick up that damage power, which makes him even more dangerous than before.
Yeah, so he's really going to be a big bully on the field, and Brian's going to want to keep everything away from that heavy unit.
With damage power up in the middle picked up, let's see what Brian's going to do to react to this. Looks like he's using a Deadeye to do the first shot, and looks like he's tickled the heavy, which is what when we developed it, we want the heavy to be able to absorb a lot of damage at the bottom of the battlefield.
Yeah, but he's getting some damage on the heavy, so I think Brian's putting his priority to that heavy unit to make sure that that thing gets out of the battlefield first.
Looks like that heavy is taking some damage. He's smoking up right now. And Brian activated special ability on the assault, which increases the next attack to 5 instead of 2. And you see all this beautiful missile just coming out from it.
Yeah, it looks really nice, but I think that damage part was not worth it for John to grab, and I think he will lose his first unit right now.
Oh, looks like John needs some help.
Yeah, and Brian just drew first blood right there, so let's give it up for Brian for getting his first blood like ever.
Oh, there comes some smack talk from Brian.
No, I think John's doing that. He lost his first unit. Brian should be happy.
You happy for your first blood since beginning of making this game?
So John just picked up another action point power up on his Deadeye, so that will give him the ability to attack this turn in addition to grabbing that power up. So that was a really smart move by John there. And he used his special ability on his Deadeye that increased his range by 1, so he was able to target that.
Looks like Brian's assault is going down for this turn. Oh. Here comes the special ability for the heavy, which decreased the action point cost to attack from 2 to 1 for this turn, which allows him to take out this actual assault.
Yes, hopefully John won't regret using that special ability on his heavy, because it might come in handy later when he actually has to like target things that are far away and finish them off. So I think pretty soon something's going to be happening in the world, but I'm not sure. But I think John's opting to grab that health power up behind the pillar as well, and that will give his assault unit like a shield for 3 extra health for that assault unit, so he'll be able to absorb a little bit more damage than it's normally used to.
John is slowly advancing up the assault from the right side and taking really good care of it. Let's see what he could do with it next turn.
Yeah, so they're really making sure they take their time with these moves. This is a strategic game, of course, and Brian looks like he's really thinking about what he needs to deal with next, and I think he's going to deal with that heavy unit, so hopefully he can get rid of all this wall that John has set up, and then move on to his weaker units later. And if I were John, I would also probably try to use those walls to his advantage to block one shot from any type of units to try to target it.
Here comes a triple attack from the assault from Brian. But it looks like Brian doesn't have enough unit around the heavy to actually finish the heavy off. Do you think that's a miscalculation on his part?
No, I mean, now that it's damaged, he should be able to deal with it fairly easily if it ever tries to run away, so. And I'm not sure what Brian is doing, moving those heavies away, but.
Looks like here's a new mechanic in the game, introduced in the game. Whenever 3 turns pass by, the tile's gonna start falling from the outside and the arena is gonna get smaller as time goes on.
Yeah, so those tiles is what Brian and John are going to want to avoid at all costs, because any units that stand on top of those tiles when they fall will die immediately.
Next unit down on John's part.
Yeah, so John is up, I think 2-1 on Brian. Am I correct?
I think it is. It's right now it's 5 against 4. And it looks like the heavy is in range to charge into do some damage to Deadeyes. They are really fragile, so they could die really easily if they're not taken care of.
Yeah, but he used up his ability, so his heavy unit was able to only attack it once. So I guess he's trying to get as much damage in with that one unit before it dies and says his farewells.
Is John gonna move in and do the finishing kill?
I think he will. So Brian's not looking too good right now. Taking that first blood, he's lost 2 units this consecutive turn, and he may need some fan support.
Do we give it up for Brian?
And who's cheering for John out there? Who wants John to win? John, showing something.
As you can see on the background, there's this red bar that's going by and it says JC's awesome as a tribute to our proud producer.
Yeah, I wonder who put that there. And there goes the tiles, and there they go, falling down into the lava. But luckily, no units were on the tiles when they fell, so both players were able to avoid that. But the arena is shrinking, so they're gonna have to see if they can finish each other off before it gets too small and the Deadeyes will be able to shoot anything.
Looks like the heavy of the Ryan is in range for both of the Deadeye. Is John gonna do the shot to take care?
Yeah, I think he will, but Brian's also doing something really smart right now, and he's moved his heavy behind the pillar, so anytime he wants to move out from there, he can so choose to do so.
Without the special ability on that assault, I don't think there's enough damage to take down this Deadeye for this turn. It looks like John is trying to show us the little thing that we put in during development to speed out a game is to multi-attack and multi-targeting different unit and just simply click confirm for the unit to go on and attack the command, execute the command.
Yeah, so that was really neat of John to do that. He really split up that damage so he can get in as much damage as he can to set up his other units, which is really smart.
But then it does put his assault in a really tight spot, and now he's dead.
I think Brian is still behind on the unit count right now, so he's going to have to make some effort to catch up.
I would say otherwise, Ryan has this bulk up bully in the field and another Deadeye that's sitting back comfortably, and now his heavy is in range, even though it's really damaged.
Yeah, but moving up to grab that damage power-up away from John was probably a smart idea so that John can't enhance any of his units, and he also moved it behind that wall, so I think this Deadeye is the only thing that's going to be able to take it out and possibly moving up his assault, but then again, it would be moving it into range.
Just survive with 1 health. Is John gonna finish enough? The wall's gonna block it? What do you think?
No, the wall didn't block it. It wasn't at the right angle, so there was no walls that have been taken down, so I don't think any players have decided to opt out the strategy of hiding behind walls, which I like to do.
I would do it too, but you know, we're not playing the game. Let's see that beautiful purple laser going across the field. You guys like that?
Kind of reminds me of Dragon Ball Z in a little way. This arena is really shrinking at a rapid pace now, and hopefully that they'll be able to finish this game pretty soon. I think it's getting pretty close to an end.
Looks like the wall just blocked one of John's Deadeye's attack. The heavy just avoided 5 damage. That's a good move by John.
But now, since his Deadeye has an action point power, he was able to make up for that last attack by attacking twice with this Deadeye, so that's a total of 10 damage, and that's nothing to laugh about.
Looks like John's charging into the dead zone of Brian's Deadeye. Since it's a sniper unit, we figure that we take out the one range where you stand next to him, he can't attack you.
And that was also very smart by John, because last turn he just saw Brian use his special ability to reduce that, to get rid of that dead zone range. So now the Deadeye's gonna have to just run away from his assault the whole time, but it won't be long before John's gonna be able to finish it off.
Oh, here comes the special ability. And it's just one attack off from finishing that Deadeye. Looks like Brian's probably gonna pay for it next turn.
Hopefully that unit still has a special ability though, so he'll be able to target that heavy right in front of him.
I think John used both the special ability, if I remember correctly. As you can see on the left side, on the side panel, the purple star is gone from the little unit, so therefore it indicates that the special ability has been consumed for this turn.
Good observation. I didn't see that.
Oh, looks like there's only one unit left for Brian, and he really needed some help from the crowd. Would you guys cheer for him?
He's on his last straw. He's gonna really need some big help. The game's really ending really soon, so and really,
Go, John!
really soon.
John, make this as less painful as you can, please. We don't want to see Brian cry.
Now we don't want to lower his self-esteem more than it already is. So, but I think this game will end really soon, and Brian's gonna probably just attack with all he got.
Take out as fast as you can before everything goes down.
Yup. Here it goes.
Alright, let's think of a way of how John can kill this unit.
I think he's just gonna finish it off, just as a normal person would, and just respectfully finish off Brian. And now Robo John is our new Robo champion. Give a round of applause for John. And we will bring up JC and Brian to present John with the check and the trophy for becoming the Robo champion.
Whoever wants to come out and take a picture for John here for his new championship can come out. Rush up and take pictures. We good? We good?
And let's get a handshake from Brian for good sportsmanship. And John?
Nice try, Brian. You were really close this time.
And if you have any questions and answers, we'll take them now.
Questions?
Hey guys, really good presentation there. I definitely appreciate the danger zone. But in any case, I was going to ask, what made you guys decide on only the 3 units? Like, I'm sure you went through a design process for this, so what made you come to the realization that those 3 were the best design?
In the beginning of the design process, we were giving feedback on having a strong triangle state of design will be easy to balance since it's a strategy game after all. So it actually gave us a good direction to go through to have only 3 units and play around with their special ability and all their unit statistic to go through.
Yeah, looks like it worked out really well. Good job.
Thank you.
wondering for your multiplayer, is it only local or does it work from across any network? And is that something you're confident you're going to be able to fit into the game, or were you worried about how long that was going to take you in a 5-month period?
We started out just with local to make sure we could get it in and it was working. We didn't have any time to expand to internet or anything like that, so we were just able to get local.
Cool, and how long did it take you to get that in?
It took about a month for us to be able to play a match between each other networks.
Awesome, thanks.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right, thank you everybody for watching.